Alright, today we got another Bluetooth keyboard. This one is actually a white label keyboard, meaning that I could not find any brand or the model or anything on it. It just says Bluetooth keyboard and it's sold by a few sellers on AliExpress, and that's it. So nothing much on the front. On the bottom here it just says what color it is, and on the back you don't get much of an information either. So the reason I got interested in it is the layout. This keyboard looks like a straight up rip-off of Apple keyboard, except it's adapted for Windows and Android. So let's see what it's like. Inside we have the leaflet that shows you all the possible shortcuts that you can do in Chinese. The keyboard itself looks lovely. Let me put it aside for a second. We get this bookmarklet. One side is Chinese, the other one is English. Oh, here, the model says K303, and that's, I think, the only thing that we get here. So basically the usual manual tells you how to use it, just basics. So we get this USB cable, type A to type C. Looks like a decent enough cable. And we get a connection dongle. So this connection dongle, if you don't want to use Bluetooth, then you can go ahead and connect it using this connection dongle right here. So that's pretty much all. Right, so the keyboard looks very nice. It's quite light, and I think this looks and feels like plastic. So this is a plastic keyboard. The layout of this keyboard is, in my opinion, just perfect. So I love the layout of this keyboard. Looks really good. So we got all the usual keys. I like that the control key is a small one and the alt keys are the wide keys. Usually, sometimes in some keyboards what happens is you get a wide control key and the alt keys are narrower. I don't like that. I prefer it this way because it lets you type combinations like FN, Shift, and various other keys much easier. So when the control is wider, it's harder to press these two buttons like that. So I like this layout. It's very nice. The quality itself, the plastic, it actually feels quite nice. Nice plastic, doesn't feel cheap or anything. The keys themselves are very good. Yeah, so they have nice quality click to them. On the back we don't have much, it's just this rubber feet. And on the back here we got a power switch and the type C connector. So that's for charging, as well as I think using it wired if you want to. So yeah, the keyboard itself is not very heavy. It's got a flex to it, so it's a bit flimsy. On the bottom, this is, you know, one of those metals that's kinda plasticky metal, that it's like super thin, like metal plate. This is what it feels like to me. So the good things about this keyboard are the layout. I love it personally, personal opinion. I really like it. And it supports 2 Bluetooth devices as well as 2.4 gigahertz dongle if you wish. So you can switch between 2 devices with this, and use multiple computers or a computer and a phone. So let me see what it actually sounds like. Yeah, sounds alright. It's, to be honest, nothing special. Doesn't have much of a click or anything to it. The travel is quite short, so yeah, I like this keyboard. Let me connect it to my phone and let's see how it works. To connect it to your phone, what you have to do is first switch it on, then go into pairing mode by holding FN and 1 until the light starts blinking. As you can see, it's blinking now, which means the keyboard is ready to be paired. Then on your phone, open the Bluetooth menu, find the keyboard and tap on it and it should pair. Let's see, there you go. As you can see, it's connected. Let's try it out. So let me put this down. Actually, let me do it like this. So let's try it out. Hello YouTube. There you go, works perfectly. So I'm not gonna go too much into what you can do with this keyboard on Android, but whatever you can do on a normal Bluetooth keyboard, whatever the functions Android supports for a Bluetooth keyboard, you can do all of those on this keyboard. So yeah, it's a nice keyboard, connected very quickly there. The color itself, this may look black, but in fact it's more of a very dark gray colored, so just so you know. But I personally like it. The layout of this keyboard, like I said, I really like it. I like the space between keys, the shape of the keys. There's no rattling or anything. It's quite a solid keyboard. If only this keyboard had been made of metal, it would be so nice. If it had been not plastic. If this had been metal, it would have been perfect. So let me use it for a little bit on my PC and I'll come back with my final thoughts. Alright, so I used this keyboard for a little bit on my PC and unfortunately, I discovered a glaring flaw with this keyboard. This flaw makes it completely useless to me personally, to be honest. So first of all, before I get to it, the Bluetooth. So the Bluetooth, again, connected absolutely fine and you can use it fine. It goes to sleep after about 10 minutes. I didn't time it exactly, but it goes to sleep often enough that you kind of notice that it went to sleep. But it wakes up very quickly too, in about 1 or 2 seconds, and the first keystroke always registers. So if it's asleep and you hit D, it's gonna type D once it wakes up. So to me, it's not too annoying. It's okay, I could live with it fine. But what I can't live with is the following. So on this keyboard, when you press and hold CTRL SHIFT, it disables this whole row of keys, which means you cannot do, for example, CTRL SHIFT Z, CTRL SHIFT X, CTRL SHIFT C, V, and so on. It's basically, once you do these two keys, this whole row on the bottom is dead, does not work, which is absolutely crazy. So I don't know if they, like, how did they miss testing this, but somehow they missed it. And I use these shortcuts a lot, like CTRL SHIFT X to delete lines, CTRL SHIFT C to copy a line, to paste a line. If you do lots of work with text, like, this is a critical shortcut. So CTRL SHIFT N to go into incognito mode on your browser, for example. So personally, like, this flaw just makes this keyboard, well, kind of useless to me, to be honest, because I can't use the shortcuts. Just for the record, if you just do Shift and any of this, they work. If you do Control and any of this, they work. From the right hand side, if you do Control Shift, these keys work. So you can do Control Shift X, for example, from the right hand side, but from this side, from the left hand side, once you do this row of keys is dead. This work, everything works. This line is completely dead. So I'm not sure how they missed this, to be honest. Like, was this keyboard not tested? I don't know. I noticed another issue. So on Windows, when you switch between virtual desktops, the shortcut for that is Control Windows, left or right. So you switch, you want to go right, you do Control Windows right. You want to go left, you do Control Windows left. On this keyboard, when you do Control Windows and left, if you don't let go of these two keys, you can't go back. So you can't do Control Windows right, left, right, left. You can't do this move, because once you do Control Windows and hit this key, even though you are holding it, deregisters. So it's like you let it go. So that's another flaw with this keyboard. So those are two things I found with this keyboard. All right, so switching between virtual desktops, you can do this quickly. Like you go left like this, or you go right like this, and you let it go, and it's fine. You just can't keep holding this and switching back and forth. That I can live with. However, disabling this bottom row here, once you do Control Shift, this to me personally is a critical flaw of this keyboard. And yeah, because of this, I would not be able to recommend you this keyboard because of this until there is a fix for this. Even though, to be honest, it's I'm disappointed because I really like this keyboard. The layout is great, it connects quickly, looks great, but I don't know how did they miss this, to be honest. So if they did, if they fixed this and if they made this out of metal for the next update, I would definitely recommend you this keyboard. But as it is now, to be honest, unless you don't use this shortcuts at all, Control Shift plus any of these keys, then I cannot recommend it. So that's my conclusion on this keyboard. As a final note, if you use a dongle, the keyboard, unlike with Bluetooth, does not go to sleep, so it's always responsive. So yeah, that's my review or unboxing or whatever you want to call it of this keyboard, and that's it.